You have to click the button.
So
Oh.
one of the things, there's a dog that lives across the street from us that barks. I was starting to feel like it barks every time I walk by. And I was like, man, what is with this dog? Well, but today, as I was like, oh, this dog, then I looked.
Shush! It's my turn.
Da, 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 da.
Okay. Okay, wait. I want you to continue your story.
I got you. So I'm just trying to see again. Yeah,
Is it
so
working?
it's same as last time. The button's down this way. That's my timer over there. Oh, so to finish the story before Sophie explains the format of the thing. Is then I looked up and there was a guy with a dog coming around the corner. So what happened was the dog was not barking at me at all. The dog was barking at another dog. And that's like, all right, fine. Dogs gonna be dogs. Dogs can bark at other dogs. That's how I feel about that. That's actually the end of my story.
Well, that's interesting. So, what do you want me to? No, I actually forgot to fill up my water bottle, and that actually makes me really sad because I didn't have water.
Because now it'll be an hour until you can get a drink. That's crazy. And it will just be an hour because last time, hi everyone. Oh no, you already did that. Oh, shush, it's my turn podcast. The way this works, because now I'm taking over, unless she does, is we have a chess timer. There. And if I was up closer, I could push the button. We each get a half hour of talking. And when your time is up, no more talking. The other person gets to talk. And I would like to just start this episode by saying how I hope that my partner in this endeavor actually obeys the rules and doesn't physically try to.
I do want to say a couple of things. Number one, I accidentally already broke the rules and then realized and then went like that. Because you were talking up and no,
That's impressive. I'm glad that you did that. Go ahead, take it back because.
okay, no, because we have to start talking about this because we can't be cheapskates. Got it?
Oh,
Wait.
okay. But so one of the things is last time we were hesitant to push the button and steal the turn back because every time we did it, 5 seconds got added. And I Googled the manual and made it so that now that doesn't happen. So now we can just like wham, like click, 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 click back and forth really fast. Whenever you want, you just do it.
I actually feel bad interrupting you. Wait, take it back.
I don't feel bad interrupting you. It's the whole thing. What I was going to say is you need to better, not even the like talking when you're not supposed to, because that was mostly forgetfulness, but the thing you just did, the physical restraining of trying to.
That was all you. The physical restraining is, you know how people have fight, flight, or freeze? That's my fight. So that's that's not forgetfulness, it's a reflex. Okay, so what we're going to talk about is.
What it is no excuse.
Okay, so I don't want to be cheapskates, and I want to talk about the results of the quiz. Remember, because I actually took time this afternoon and prepared it all. Look at it all. I won't be reading it all.
Can you turn your brightness up? Because I can't really see it very well. Oh, it's just the angle. I got it.
Okay, old person. So I feel like I just want to start to read off.
Before you do, nobody who there's people who won't.
I'm going to explain it. Just like last time, you didn't give me a chance. So I'm going to explain the result. Actually, you're right, it wasn't. Okay, so we actually can.
I just want to say how proud I am of you for admitting that. That's a real sign of maturity, and I'm just so proud of the young woman you're growing up to be. That's really great. You're just lovely. There's so many things, and I think it's time for us to talk about this.
Can you explain the whole quiz?
So, Sophie had an assignment for school for some reason where she needed to create an.
Wait, no, let me explain it because you're not actually going to know. So I'm doing research in my class, and we did a mini project because my teacher was sick, so it's just warming us up. So I'm doing health and social care, so this has nothing to do with health and social care. It's about Celebration Tub. And if you watched our last episode, I was making fun of Dad's poll, and then I polled, I think, about 5 people, and he polled, there was 99 responses overall.
I feel like there's missing information. So what she did is she sent me a link to an online poll which is there was 2 questions. What's your favorite thing in the bin of celebrations? Which, for those who don't know, is like a tub full of little chocolate bars. And what's your age? And so when she talks about, did you just say pull or poll? Oh, you can't say. Anyway,
Poll, because do you remember last episode I was making fun of your poll? You said, oh, do you want me to post this on my Facebook? And I'm like, yeah, but who are you going to poll? Like, you're not going to pull any
I just want to say, I don't know that actually was recorded. Wasn't that just a conversation we had? I haven't watched the thing, so you'd know. All right, I trust you. Carry on.
Okay, back to my results. I'm just going to tell everyone the results for everyone just interested in the results. And then I'll get into, like, my analysis, which isn't long. Okay, so let's go last to first. My last minute, I realized I hadn't put the results in, the overall results, because I have it broken down into ages. But the overall result is the least favorite chocolate bar is the Galaxy. Can you imagine that? There's a lot.
I pushed the button, but I decided I don't want to, actually. So
Yeah, if you push the button every time, there's a lot to get through. Okay, so the next one, actually, I'm not very good with numbers. Is this the next one? Yeah, the next one is, sorry, I hit my spoon, is Milky Way. Valid, honestly, I think so. I'm actually, like, surprised. Only 3 people out of 99 people picked Galaxy.
I don't know if we actually said that before. When you're talking about poll, she put it. All right, what did you put it on? Oh, you can't even say. Anyway, the online quiz had like 5, I don't know, maybe like 2 respondents, and then I put it on my Facebook, and it ended up with like almost 100. So that was the whole conversation about poll. I just don't think we quite finished that. Go. I mean, take it when you want it.
No, I didn't really feel bad. So, like, yeah, I like sent it to my Christian Union group chat, and then I think 1% of that did it. It was not even like the main Christian Union one. It was my friend group one, real ones. And then I like sent it to a few people. Like I sent it to Steph. And all these other people. Okay, let's get through this because we're dragging it now. So that was 6. Milky Way only 6. The next one is 9. So tied Bounty and Caramel Galaxy.
I voted Bounty. I think Bounty, although honestly I'm not sure that it is my favorite, but I know it's the one I eat the most of because no one else likes it. Also, Caramel Galaxy is horrendous.
No, you don't even get to speak because that opinion is horrendous. Caramel Galaxy genuinely is my love. So, but like everyone, I honestly, because Dad like doesn't really pull, like he didn't have people answering this quiz that were like teenagers stuff, and like, you know, like your main age was people in their 40s. So I genuinely expected it Bounty to be higher. Both of those were 9. And the next one with 12 is Mars. I didn't put down Mars, but Mars is like my childhood chocolate bar because I always got them at church. I did.
Who gave you Mars bars at church? Wait. Oh, go. I mean, take it if you want it. But I was going to say Mars doesn't taste good. Mars tastes like a toothache wrapped in plastic. That's what I think Mars tastes like. Gross.
Can I just like say anyone's name on here? Will it be bad if I just say it?
I think, oh, I see what you're saying. No, probably people may not want their personal details. So I would say refer to somebody by perhaps their relation to you or a general description.
Can I just say the first letter of their name? Because you're going to know who it is.
I already do know who it is. I remembered, but just give a general.
Okay, so there was this really, really, really nice person at church that when we lived in Canada, that every time we would go to church, she would give us a bag of candy and chocolate, and she would always give me a fun size, like Mars bar, because I don't know. She knew I love Mars. It's not my favorite anymore, so I had to put Maltesers down. And we still haven't mentioned Maltesers yet. Okay, so the next one actually is Maltesers with 16. Okay, that one is this one. I'm surprised at the winner. The winner is my least favorite. This one. Well, I just don't like nuts. If that gives it away, no.
Snickers! I totally stole that thunder. So that makes sense.
And I didn't even finish. Twix was at 17, and then Snickers at 27. So those are your results. And if you're just here for the results, then but if you want to like listen to what I spent time on, then here we go. So I broke it down because there was this research called Man Behaving Badly. And he did research and posted this questionnaire to his followers and asked what their favorite chocolate bar was in the celebrations thing. And then he took that and then he saw because he took secondary and primary research and figured out that roughly the number of kinds in a celebration box are the same. So they're kind of equal, the numbers. It does go up and down, but roughly they are the same. So he was arguing that they shouldn't be the same because people have more favorites, people have least favorites, so they should vary. But I was arguing that all of his followers are probably roughly the same age, or are easily influenced by him, because if he said, oh, my favorite chocolate bar is this, they're gonna more likely want to vote for it to make his answer win. Do you know what I'm saying?
So I didn't know any of the backstory of this, all of this bit, and I'm super impressed. That's actually, remarkably clever. Carry up. That's fantastic.
I love research. So what I found at...
You what? You love research. That's what you said.
Yeah, I love research. So what I found out is, I'm just going to give you some things because the 40s, if you answered and you're 40 years old, you took over. So I had 8 people in their teens answer, 1 including me. So that's my poll. Actually, a bit of yours. In their 20s, we had 13. 1 of them was mine. In their 30s, there was 14 people. 40s, there was 38 people. 50s, 9. 60s, 11. And then we had, special shout out, we had 6 70s. So cool. I was so excited. I was so honored because I wanted a huge range. So my point is,
big, yeah. So that's all you in your 70s eating chocolate bars.
Yeah. So we had, for the teenagers, their favorite was a combination of Caramel Galaxy and Mars. And their 20s, the favorite was a combination of Snickers and Twix. The 30-year-olds, your favorites were, you have 3 winners, Maltesers, Mars bars, and Snickers. The 40s, 2 winners, Maltesers and Twix. Maltesers, I was surprised, for 40-year-olds. For 50s, there was Maltesers.
I'm surprised. Wait, so in the 40s, Maltesers are one of the high ones. I don't know why you'd be surprised, because in some ways, Maltesers are proper old man candy.
Yeah, but when you think about celebrations, you think Bounty, old man, Maltesers, teenagers, or young people.
I think you think that.
I think the world thinks that, and you're behind.
I think the next poll should be, when you look at a thing of Maltesers, what age group do you associate with each one?
No. So did I say 60s? I'm gonna say 60s just in case I didn't. 60s is say 60s. Hit the timer and say 60s. But like I did, 60s.
60s.
Isn't that fun?
No.
Okay, so their favorite was Bounty. The first Bounty winner I was at. So, and then the 70s, your guys' favorites were Caramel Galaxy and Snickers.
So one of the fun things about those results, which I'm just hearing for the first time, is that teens and people in their 70s both go for Caramel Galaxy. Is that what it's called? Or is it Galaxy? Yeah, Caramel Galaxy. There was no other groups, was there, that were like Caramel Galaxy?
So wait, did you just say 70s?
Oh
no, yeah, you're right. I just thought I read something else. So do you want me to read my summary now? So I've practically said it, but just overview, I'll literally read it off my screen. I argued that his followers are more likely to be the same age and are more likely to be influenced by what he said, meaning if he said what his favorite chocolate was, they are more likely to put that down as their answer. I did a questionnaire asking for people's age and their favorite chocolate bar, and then relate them. From my findings, come together. From my findings, it showed me that people's favorite kinds depend on different things, like age, as the favorite changed for different ages. This means that I think that the celebrations should stay roughly equal on the number of kinds.
Wow. So yeah, I didn't know that there was like a conclusion to the research, that it was like meant to drive at a thing. So was this, you could just nod if you want, but was there, I mean, not just randomly. I feel like I said you could nod and you nodded, like, you know, in response to what I say. Did everyone have to respond to the same like case study? Like the teacher was like, here's a thing about
Yeah. Oh, I was meant to nod, but I wanted to explain more. So yeah, but I was like 5 different tasks. Like we had to analyze it at first, and all of these different things, and then start our own research. Like we're never in our life going back to that, and I'm probably the only one that actually did it. But I just kind of wanted to do it for fun, and it was fun, and it was really fun, like refreshing the page in class and like seeing all the numbers go up. So that was really fun. I have nothing else to say, so you want to take it back?
I don't think I've ever done a poll that had that many people respond. The last poll I can think of might have had 15, but it was a smaller group of people. It was a very specific thing. So anyway, yeah, well done. That's great. And as a way to go like, this guy's results aren't good, to like see the hole in his research and then to figure the thing out. So on to the other question then really is, should celebrations have different numbers according to people's favorites? Your answer is no, they should.
Wait, I think I know what you're going to say, and I want to say it before you. Because, honestly, I was thinking about this, and then I was like, this is too much work. But what you could do is, like, research the ages of, like, what, like, the majority of people that eat celebrations and their ages, and then, like, so, like, if more, like, 50-year-olds, I can't remember what the 50-year-olds were, but, like, let's say Caramel Galaxy. If more, like, a whole, like, it's, like, 60% of 50s eat, eat 50% of the consumers of the celebrations tub are 50s, then you should put more Caramel Galaxy in than the other ones.
Not even what I was going to say. I was still thinking it through. I think the problem with your logic is that they don't want, like, you don't want to be like, we appeal to people in their 50s. They want to sell celebrations tubs to people in their everythings. And so being like catering to one decade age group would actually, I think, decrease their sales, I bet. So they don't want to do that. But it's an interesting question because it's...
Okay, I clicked it. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say, so you can actually click it. Wait, I have something.
So, I think they should be exactly equal in every tub, though, because I bet you they're not. Actually, from what you said earlier, the guy who checked, they're not exactly equal. But I think if I...
No, they're not. The Mirror did research on their own.
Oh, the Mirror's a newspaper or like a website or something.
Yes, a news agent. They did research on their own, and they found out they aren't actually like the same, but they are roughly like... It's not like 5 and 6. I'm talking like 4 and 8. Like
as
that
in,
kind.
like, it's not like they always tend to have more Snickers. Like, it's sort of random. Some of them might have more Bounties or whatever.
Yeah, and then he
just feel like...
and then he did his own research where he bought a tub of celebrations and then did it and then backed up Mirrors. But he only bought one.
I've seen people do this with, like, Skittles and things like that as well, because there was like the American Skittles, or it might have been UK Skittles, because it was red, white, and blue, which is both countries' flags. But I've seen people do that thing where they just like take a whole box and then put them out. Actually, I saw the other day somebody did it with what are they called? Smarties, which in North America are different than what they are here in the UK. In North America, they are a candy shell around a little piece of chocolate, and what they found, I think, was that the orange or purple weigh more. So they didn't like count how many in a box. They were like, which one weighs the most? And one of them actually weighs more. Because there is a thing, is it here or back in North America, that orange Smarties actually taste like orange. It's here. But back in Canada, I don't think there's any difference in flavor whatsoever. It's so reassuring to have you like shake your head and nod along so that I just know I'm on the right track. All right, so that's the results for Sophie's poll. So if you've been watching so far and that's all you came for, which would be hard to believe, yeah, we'd like to say goodbye.
Yeah, we would. Bye. Or you can stay. And then you can stay. Okay, your turn. No, I actually do something today to say. Last episode when I got my finger stuck in the hole. Do you remember that? I got my finger stuck and said, Dad, help my finger. And then I got it out. You could hear it. And then it popped out.
That's amazing. I'm actually impressed. So people may not realize, but we're not actually holding kitchen utensils for fun. Maybe I can talk while Sophie shows you up closer that there's actually little microphones clipped, or not even clipped, they're magnetic. And so that's why we're holding on to these. All right, next topic. I feel like, just take the thing over. This stuff.
I have questions unless you have questions. I want to talk about us moving. So I was going through your Facebook, it was probably 1 a.m., and I was looking at old videos and pictures, and I watched an old video of you talking to the camera, telling every one of your followers why.
Okay, for one, you can't call people followers, because I think I remember what this video was. I think it was YouTube. There was a video. It was just on Facebook, but I thought, because I might have posted a YouTube video to Facebook, but that's not followers. Facebook has always been called
Okay, whatever.
friends.
Yes, so you're friends. So you were talking to every one of that people that follow you, and you were talking about us moving, and you were talking about how it was never in your, like, you could never even see, like, how it kind of happened, like your or Mom's plan. So you really thought it was God's plan. Do you still think that, even though we've lived here for 5 years? Why was that funny?
It's funny. It invokes a much larger question. That's why. So I think that's why I'm laughing. I'd have to watch again to know what I said, but I wouldn't have said, I don't think I would have thought, because I didn't, well, no, there is something to that, isn't there? So the background information for those who don't know is 6.5 years ago, something like that, we moved from Canada to the UK. And it was tied to a couple things. Partly was I had been a pastor and then had joined SIM, which is a missions agency, and then decided to do to try to do a PhD here in Cambridge, which is why we moved here. And so, yeah, surely I was saying, like, this isn't really, like, doing a PhD in Cambridge is not something I thought I would ever do. And right up until sort of deciding to do it isn't even something I thought I had wanted to do. And so it did feel like it was something. What was the phrase that you used that I used?
You said that it was God's plan.
Yeah, so the whole, like, God's plan thing is a bit tricky. So that's why I made that noise. So I don't think it was God's plan in the sense that, like, if we hadn't done it, it necessarily would have been like, you have disobeyed God. I don't think, that's not really how I think of it. And then your question is, do I still think of it that way? Yes. But this is like the whole invoking a big conversation thing. I sort of grew up with a lot of people having this idea that the way it worked, because there's like, what does God want for your life? On the one hand, there's all the stuff we can say really clearly from the Bible, like righteousness, holiness, take up your cross and follow me, serve one another, love one another, faithful, fruit of the Spirit, all of that you can say. Well, there's the whole other side, which is what people are usually talking about, which is like plans. What school should I go to? What should I study? Who should I marry? What career should I do? Stuff like that. And I think that stuff, on the one hand, I would say God certainly never, I don't think God like promises or says in the Bible, these are things I'm going to show you. There are certainly people in the Bible for whom he did, like, hey, you be a prophet, or like, and go be a prophet at that place, like, go. But for the most part, those seem to be the exceptions, because there's no statements that are like, And for all of you who follow me, I'll tell you what, all these types of details. So I think what we should do is do our best to do all the things that we know he says, all the things I listed at first. And then as far as the other details, I just think we have a lot of room for freedom. So I think you should try to be wise, as in do make those decisions along pathways that look like the things we know for sure God says, and ask people around you and pray and all of that kind of stuff. But so I just don't think, did God command that we were supposed to move here? I wouldn't say that. That's sort of how I think about it. Does that help?
Yeah, it's actually really interesting. Because do you remember when I was going to sixth form and I really didn't know which school to go to? And I was thinking about CUs and one Christian unions, and one of the schools had a Christian union and one of them didn't. But I really wanted to go to the one that did, but I felt like it was wrong because the one that doesn't have somewhere where people can learn about God, and I could set that up. But then you said don't worry about it, so then I didn't. So is that what you're on about?
I think that applies there. Yeah. And I think so, along with what I said earlier, I think God can do things to make certain directions clear. I just don't think he says he will. So it's not a promise we should hold him to keeping. And then, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. So that situation, yeah, I think the choice between the two schools, it felt either one is good. Make the decision for the sort of there's lots of factors to consider. And unless you had a really strong sense of guidance or direction or something, then I don't think there was a reason to go there so that you could start a CU necessarily. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but how do you know that it's very strong? Because I can convince myself that it is, but in reality it isn't. So you can't trust yourself unless you're a physical voice.
I stole it. Yeah, I mean, and that's part of the problem is I think then because people have often thought that God will definitely give them direction on stuff like this. And so then they're looking for it in ways that he's not necessarily using. And then so people are trusting things that aren't actually reliable in making these decisions and end up like you were feeling I really don't know which one I should do or which thing or how would I even know. So, I mean, I just think the first part, I guess I'd say is mostly just don't worry about it. Between this option, that option, as long as all the other stuff's in line, then I think it's pretty indifferent which one you choose. How would you know, if God was actually calling you to one or the other? I don't know if I know how to answer that. Because there is the what if there was an audible voice? Well, that's pretty good. That seems like it should work. You'd have to go well, was that actually God speaking or not? But I remember when I was your age doing things like you can flip a coin, praying God, if you want me to do this or this one's head, this one's tails. That's a mistake, I think.
Yeah.
You broke the rules. Oh yeah, do it. Hit it with your toe.
Yeah, I couldn't. My leg doesn't reach that far because we went further away this time. I think that's how we know that because at the beginning we were full on arguing. Yeah, there were some punches about whether or whether or not it was closer or not. So I said it was, he said it wasn't. So apparently it was. By the way, I'm just kidding. They're only slaps.
Yeah, I think it's time for me to take my turn back. Trying to decide if there was more to say about moving here. I don't know that there was. Good thing I took it back. All right, I'll ask you a question. At this point, are you happy that we moved here?
You know, like when you go down, I have a couple things I have to say before I answer. And then, like, you get raised up. Okay, my second thing is you have one, like, red eyebrow hair. Right here.
Ah!
Can I not pull
I was sitting there like, she's not actually going to pull it. And then I thought maybe I should make a noise as if she's going to pull it. And then she actually just grabbed like a handful of eyebrow hair and yanked it.
No, I didn't. I grabbed the one. And I didn't actually think you'd let me, so I just kept going. And I thought you were going to stop me, but you didn't, so I just kept going. What was your question? Am I happy we moved? I don't know. It's like a complicated relationship type thing. No, I'm just kidding. Stop. You asked me.
It is complicated. I know. That's why I asked it. Because you asked me a complicated
So, no.
question.
Thank you. So, am I happy that we moved? I don't know, because I feel like I would be like almost not completely. I would be a different person if we didn't move. Like, I feel like the UK, like as soon as you move to the UK, it's gonna shape you. Especially like it's like such, cause like it's still part of like the western. That's a police car. Part of like the western area, you know. And it's like you don't think there'd be much of a difference, but like at least I didn't think there's gonna be much of a difference. So I assume everyone else thinks there's not gonna be much of a difference. But like there like is, and especially where we were, cause like you know, I feel like more like sheltered where we were, and then we moved. It feels more like, like you're just out there, you know, and there's no shelter anymore. But so, and then I met like lifelong friends here, so it's hard for me to say no, I wouldn't wish, because I've never meet like Eleanor. Do you know what I mean? And like, so that's hard for me to say. But then I do want to move back as soon as possible, and like I miss time with my family back home. So like that's sad. So it's also hard for me to say like no, like yes, because I also miss time with my family. Like that's not like promised. So like yes and no.
That's a great answer, I think. And like, I think it's good that you've got both sides going. Because that's like how we felt about moving here too. Was like, yeah, there's things about this that are obviously look good, and there's things about this that are obviously really hard and will make things harder on all of us. So obviously wasn't easy, and you guys were older. There's a whole thing. It's easier to move kids when you guys are all younger, but like Caleb was just turning 13, so you would have been 10, Sam would have been 8. So yeah, lots of that.
I'm happy that we moved when we were older. I feel like if we moved when we were younger, like family in like Canada, like if you moved me when I was 3, like I would find it hard to remember people back in Canada. And but like I guess like we call them all the time and like visit them every summer. But like I feel like I wouldn't have like as good as connection with like these people.
So one of our friends before we moved, because when we were talking to friends about doing it, that was the thing I said earlier about when you're trying to make a decision, like talk to, you know, godly people, get advice, etc., etc. So talking to them, and one of our friends, one of the issues was like, well, the oldest child is like 12, almost 13. You know, that's often an age where people go through a lot. Maybe that's not a good time to move. And their advice was, most people are miserable at 13 anyway. So just move, because like they're going to be miserable no matter what, probably.
So that's not good advice, because if we have someone struggling, and then it's like this pile of books, okay? You can't see it, but we have to just imagine it. So this pile of books, and then look at all the struggle, and then you're going to put another one on top. That's what it's like.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it wasn't as though the 12-year-old was already struggling or any, like, you know, we were like, that's fine, they'll get over it. It was more sort of general thing, but I was curious as to what you thought of that, since you're closer to 13 than I am, and you've made the move as a child. So
if I move I don't know, actually. I don't know, like the button, because I didn't move when I was 13. I moved when I was 10. And also, like, in my head, like, family in Canada has, like, always been the same. But, like, looking at pictures, like, when we move, like, they look so much younger. And obviously they look so much younger. It's, like, 6 years. There's, like, my cousins who are, like, teenagers. Of course, they look so much different. But like, I don't know. In my head, they've like always been the same. And like, I found it because I've never thought about them thinking like we're so different. Like, oh, you're so much taller, but like not like, oh, you're so different. Like that's never crossed my mind until, well, it has because I'm talking about it. But like, it didn't cross my mind until like probably a year ago, and I've been thinking about it ever since. How weird it is. Also, how weird it is, and I don't like this. I don't like this at all. How like my friends in Canada, they're like, so when I move, they're like, because I haven't talked to them since, so like they're that person in my head. So like for them, like that's me. But like, so like that, I don't like that idea.
I was talking to someone else before we moved and talking through some of this. And one of the things this other person told me was, it'll be great, or like a good thing about it will be that your kids will be more interesting people. Like as people, you'll be more interesting because you lived in two places. I don't exactly know what I think of that. What do you think of that?
I mean, yeah, the more experiences you go through, I don't think interesting is the right word because someone can be more interesting than me and like have less experience. And I feel like everyone, well, that's not true. Yeah, that's not true. I feel like everyone is interesting, but people can be more interesting. So what was your question?
If moving, because they said growing up in another place, like a second.
Okay, I remember. So if like, what do I think about that? I mean, yeah, I think so. I mean, it does make you a little more interesting because like it shapes you. But like if you, no, I wasn't done.
Yeah. So, but the thing.
But like
That's.
try again. But like if we didn't move, we still would have gone through different experiences that would have made us interesting. So moving does make us more interesting, but like other things would have as well.
I think you're onto it, because the thing, you don't want to say that someone who didn't move is less interesting or has a less interesting life. But so I think it's that growing up like in two places gives you things that you couldn't have by just growing up in one place, but that growing up in one place also gives you valuable things that you couldn't have if you moved to a couple places. So yeah, that was part of the thinking in moving too, was recognizing like, yeah, this will be like, we'll lose things that are really valuable, but we'll also gain other things.
Do you know what we will gain? Two truths and a lie. We'll gain a truth and a lie. Do you want to hear my truth and a lie? I always remember my lie. I always had the same lie for every single two truths and a lie. My lie was that my brother had 2 fish. That always got them because he had many fish because they all died. Or no, I said he had 3 fish because he always had 3 fish, but then one would die and then we'd replace it. And do you remember how we got those fish? You weren't told. Neither, like, you guys weren't told.
I think, yeah. So for one, like, wow, I don't know how we got here suddenly. We were on a thing and then you're like 2 truths and a lie. Fish. I do.
No, because we were talking about interesting, so it gives us another fact. Because me and we were talking, the kids I look after, one of them was born on a leap day. And so we were talking, and I was talking with the mom, and she was like, and I said, oh yeah, it will give him like hi, my name is this, and this is the interesting fact about me, and this is my favorite color.
Yeah, that's great. I just want to applaud you yet again for this time. Well, I want to applaud you again because you've done another good thing, which is not named people. And it's just coming naturally to you now. That's fantastic. I don't think I've done 2 truths and a lie in recent enough memory to have any idea of what I said.
Let's do one now. But like you grew up with me, like I've known. Okay, so I can't do one because you know when I'm lying, but you can do one because I would know when you were lying because I haven't. You know what I mean?
You could do one where you tell 3 stories of things you did with friends that I don't know about. That's scary.
Okay, but let me think, and then I'll get back to you. So you do yours.
I'll get back to you. I don't know that I can come up with something. I guess it could be from my childhood. This might not work. We might not be able to think of things in time. We might need to not do this.
No, I swear I have my 2 truths. I just need a lie. I can't think of a lie. Is that good, Dad? That I can't think of a lie? Does that show that I'm trustworthy? Yes, it does. Okay, let me think of a lie. You tell your truths.
I love that. Tell your truths. I don't know that I can do this. Hold on, I'll think of things. But the problem is if I stop talking, then people are just sitting there watching us think, like all the all the people.
There were many people in our comment section. I was so happy. And then I saw, and then people liked it, and it made me so happy.
I think I could do 2 truths and a lie, but I would need to go like think about it and do it next time.
I've got mine. Okay, so do you know the marshmallow challenge? Where you put as many marshmallow, funny bunny? So we did that, and then we almost started choking. Number 2, so that was number 1. Number 2, okay, this was a discussion I had, not something I did, and I said no, okay? So, is that terrifying? So we were talking about it, and at this age, buying like hairspray, or was it hairspray? Just something to color your hair, maybe hair dye. I can't remember. Was illegal to buy at our age. And so this friend was talking about like, oh, like, do you want to come, like, me and this person were thinking about stealing it, and then we're going to dye like a strip of our hair. Okay, so I had that conversation with a friend. I haven't finished number 3.
That's interesting because, like, not that long ago, you suddenly came out of your room with a strip of your hair colored.
Don't start, because I was hair chalk from a charity shop. Yay, leave me back. Number 3, I told you I was going to town, and then I went to St. Ives instead. That was your 3.
I already know number 3 is true.
Okay.
So is it okay? The second one was stealing hair dye, and
the discussion of stealing hair dye. Didn't do it. No, you can click it.
What was the first one?
The funny bunny. And when one of us started choking, throwing up.
Both of them are totally plausible, actually. I guess that's what makes it difficult. So the lie is the chubby bunny, the marshmallow one.
Fine. You're correct. The stealing and the St. Ives was with the same person. So if you know who that is. Genuine, can I tell you about number 2? Because we had that conversation with this person, and then I was trying to think, because like it's not like that person at all. And so I was trying to think, I'm like, did I genuinely have a dream? And I like fully convinced myself that that was a conversation I had in a dream. So in the store, I literally was like, hey, did this happen, really loudly? And she was like, oh yeah. And they never actually did it. But
so there was a time you came home and you were like, I was in a store, and then a lady at like someone who worked at the store came over and basically kicked you guys out. Or just you. Is this the
Oh my gosh. No, those are not the same people. But can I tell that story? Because that story makes me mad. Actually, doesn't. I understand, but it still kind of makes me mad. We were shopping at a corner shop, like just, the sketchy corner shop. We went up to the till, and then right before we saw this girl, who we didn't know this girl, as she walked out with the hood up. We didn't think anything of it until this happened. And then she was like, she rang us in, let us pay, and then she was like, oh yeah, by the way, you can never come back. So I was like, oh, I'm sorry, like, is like we didn't know, like, was there like an age limit here? Because like corner shops can be sketchy. So I was younger, I was probably like 14, and thought like, oh, I'm sorry, like I didn't know that there was an age thing. And she goes, no, I know you were with that girl. And we got so scared because we were like 14, 13, and this one of my friends go to the store every single day with and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, like I said, oh, I'm sorry, like we honestly don't know that girl. And then she said, yeah, my manager isn't here, so you can never come back. And my manager told me to trust my gut. So honestly, it's fine. Like that situation kind of works because like you don't want like those kind of people in your store like stealing and stuff like that, but like
So my story is another one where I thought about having a dream that you think is real. I think I've told you this where because sometimes I have like super not quite vivid dreams, but dreams that like I wake up and I'm sort of still in it a bit. So then this one was, I was probably about your age. No, I was in grade 10. I don't know, maybe I was 15, so I was just slightly younger, maybe 14. I don't know, grade 9 or 10, something like that. Anyway, and then I I had a dream that I got married to this girl I knew from school that I was like a little bit sweet on, you know, had a little crush. But then in my dream, I got married to her. And I woke up in the morning and I was like, oh my word, what have I done? I'm 14 years old and I'm married. And I was like, you know, like I thought this girl was pretty great, but I was like, I can't be married at 14. That's crazy. And I just felt like, what am I going to do? Like, I'm just married now? And it took me because, like, I get out of bed and then go have a shower first thing. And I was like halfway through my shower and I suddenly went, oh, it was a dream. I'm not married. And I was like, oh, what a relief. So, like, that's how long it stuck with me.
Honestly, I thought you got slow as you aged, but like I think you were just slow from the beginning.
So this is new for me. I didn't know that you thought I was getting slower as I got older.
Well, yeah, I did. Well, I don't know. You don't have quite a good memory. Like you don't remember anything from my childhood.
Yeah, I do think about that sometimes because they're like, yeah, there's lots of things I don't remember. That's just absolutely true. Even like things that were not that long ago. I feel like
Yeah, but I think you've always been like that. I'm assuming you've always been like that because I'm like that now. So like I'm assuming I got that from you. It's like I didn't get that out of thin air, right? Like that was from you, right?
Yeah, okay, let's talk more about dreams. I remember when I was a little kid, I had this like recurring nightmare. And it was the part that always scared me the most is I was like, I'd go and sit on like a large stuffed bear, like a teddy bear. But then suddenly it was just the bottom part of the bear. And it was just like the trousers. It was like if you were going to dress up in a full-size bear costume, it was just like the trousers that you'd pull up. And it was just them, but suddenly they got up and they were walking underneath me. And I was like sitting on them and they were walking around. And I feel like I could feel myself like being carried along. And was the scariest part of that dream.
FNAF. Five Nights at Freddy. That's literally you. You're in an animatronic. And you're a child.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's okay. Wait.
I do know Five Nights at Freddy's is a thing, but I don't know what thing it is, and I have no idea why you'd say it to me.
Honestly, it's a movie, and I think there's a game. Might be a TV show. I don't quite know. But all I know is, like, what it is. Like, I think they're, like, in a pizza, like, restaurant, and, like, they get coaxed into, like, working, and, like, they're in an animatronic, like, a mascot thing, and then, like, the animatronic controls and, like, their children or something, and I can't remember. It's, like, a horror movie or something like that.
Yeah, one thing I would say is an animatronic is like Disneyland, It's a Small World, those rides, those, like, things that are mechanical, but it sounds like you're just talking about a costume, like a mascot costume. No, it is an animatronic in the thing. Yeah, well, all right. Fine. So that's my dream. Do you have any dreams that you remember?
Yeah, but I'd like to say I'm on 2 minutes, and you're on 6.
You're on 5.
Oh, okay, then let me speak. So it's not quite, but me and my cousin we used to go to Brownies, so like Girl Scouts and all that stuff. And we were in the car talking about dreams and talking about our dreams, and then we walked into Brownies, and guess what that whole night was about? Dreams. We thought we were on top of the world. I went through a phase. I watched a YouTube video of people reacting to their dreams, because like as soon as they woke up, they would record their dreams. So I went through a phase where I did that. So like on my voice notes, I have like all of my dreams. Some of my favorite dreams are in there.
You still have it? That's crazy. It's from when you were like young. No, you couldn't have been that young because you had a phone with voice notes. Yeah. Yeah, okay. All right.
Oh, sorry. I just kind of had an instinct. I didn't actually have anything to say. But I will say. What was that? No, you've distracted me. What will I say? One of my biggest fears is, genuinely one of my biggest fears is having sleep paralysis. Like, I don't know. Do you know what that is?
I was just going on to say I don't know what sleep paralysis is, so you can tell me.
I don't know if I actually will because I don't actually want to scare anyone. Like I'm being so serious. Like I don't know if it's real, but like everyone like people have had real experiences where this has happened.
So you're like, I don't know if this is real.
I didn't mean to say that.
I don't know if this is real,
I didn't mean to say that.
but people have had like real experiences.
I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say I don't know if it's like just like anyone can get it because like people are talking about like they've been like on drugs or they've like been drunk and then they sleep and then it happens to them. Like because I don't know if you can just go to sleep normal and then it happens to you. I don't know.
I guess you still haven't said what it is, but I imagine it's like you wake up and you can't move, like you're paralyzed.
Yeah, and there's like a monster. No, okay, sleep paralysis. Have you not heard like sleep paralysis demon? Like obviously it's not a real demon. Okay.
Okay.
No, please let me explain because that sounds so bad if we left it hanging.
That's all I'm coming in to go like, okay, for one, this is like you're opening an envelope that we probably don't have enough conversation time left to deal with.
Yeah, please let me explain. Let me please. So basically, it's not actually a demon. It's just like what happens is you can't move and you feel like you're awake and like there's like something lurking or like something on top of you and like you're there for like a while. And like I'm scared that would happen to me. But people like use like my sleep paralysis demon as like a saying, like something that's really scary. Obviously, I would say that, which is why you've never heard it because you hear all the sayings from me. Because I don't say that stuff. But like that, I was surprised because like you're on Reddit, and I feel like that's like a Reddit thing. No? Okay, no, you can go. I'm done explaining. I feel like I've explained myself.
All right. I'm trying to think of other dreams. And I think in some ways for me, it's not even the dream as now it's more like the emotion of the dream. But it's more intense ones. Like more negative than positive, but we can move on from dreams.
I had a dream that, okay, this one's weird. I'm going to leave some parts out. But I had a dream. I have had 2 dreams where in the dream I realized it was a dream. So one was when I was younger, like really young, and I still remember this one. We were in my old elementary school, and I had my best friend beside me, or like, I can't remember, because I had 2 boy best friends. One of them, I can't remember. I definitely had one boy best friend, and I think I had one boyfriend. Not boyfriend, boyfriend that is a boy. And I think he was there, and it was like basically like it was weird. The school was in parts, like it broke in half, like it completely flooded, and we're floating on this platform of this school. And then I go, wait, this is a dream. And then he goes, oh, so like we can jump in? And I go, yeah, just jump in, it's just a dream. And he goes, yeah, but I'm scared. I go, yeah, but it's a dream, nothing will happen to you. And then I wake up.
Huh. So I remember having dreams that I could control. I can't remember what any of them were. But yeah, there was a whole thing because then I just made them like really, really pleasant. I had this other thing where driving in a car and then like there's a lot of noise, like just the sort of road noise. And it was on a long trip. I was sitting in the back and I had my head up against the window because I was sort of resting. And then because of that, the noise was like happening even more so around me. But in my head, I could turn that noise and so that it sounded like a choir. Like the basic, like if you had an old electric keyboard and you turned it on to choir and it's just like, oh, 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 like that. So I could turn it on to that. By the way, we forgot to do theme music. Maybe you're going to edit it in and we don't have to do it every time. Doesn't matter. So I felt like I could do that suddenly. And the road noise, which I could actually hear, became like a choir just singing like an open vowel note. And then I could control the pitch like up and down. And I was like composing music for a choir, but not like, 2 parts harmony at once, but like, and I just remember going like, man, this is so great. And then because there's a whole thing about Beethoven because he went deaf. But then he could like feel the music and there was tuning forks or like he had like a metal rod that he'd put in his mouth and he had a foot. How do you point?
I remember that we listened to someone who was deaf or blind. Probably deaf. And she had no like socks or shoes on and she had her feet to the ground. She could like feel the music. That's what I thought that was cool.
So, but I think Beethoven stuck a metal rod, attached it to, because there's a big metal part in a piano that holds all the strings. And I think he had a metal rod into his mouth. So he's like playing the piano, like basically biting onto the end of a spoon like this. What's the concern? It's a spoon. I'm just biting a spoon.
Yeah, but the mic's right there.
I turned it. Everyone saw it. I'm not doing it. It'll freak you out. I don't want to freak you
No,
out.
because listen, if I click down here, it's gonna make a loud sound here. And you
That'll be super cool. People will be like, wow, what a cool sound. I always wondered what it would sound like if someone put a microphone on a metal spoon and then bit the spoon. Anyway, so it's not quite a dream thing, like controlling a dream, but I've tried to do it since and it's never worked again. But
there was this phase on social media where they would tell you how to lucid dream. And I never did it because I couldn't be bothered, but like you would like literally stare at a spot for 30 minutes and then like lay back down. It's like this weird thing.
yeah, don't do this stuff.
And it was
It's
stop,
not.
please let me finish. And it was no, it's
So
my turn. And I had a dream.
The physical restraint. I was gonna earlier say.
I had a dream. I had a dream. I need to go quick. I only have a minute left. I had a dream. Oh, wait. What was it? Okay, you go.
That's like one of the things we talked about last time is we should have like strikes, but then it doesn't make sense because if you get like 3 strikes for doing things that some of us seem to do, which talking when it's
Okay, I remember it.
not our turn, or trying to physically restrain the other person from pushing the button, or now apparently holding down the button so the other person can't, or pushing the button so that it goes to the other person's turn. I feel like there should be some kind of point system or something to it doesn't have to necessarily be that we punish the people who do all of these horrible things. But
Yeah, but I don't mean to.
we should actually. Oh, okay, we didn't mean to. But or maybe just a way to reward the people who follow the rules exceptionally well,
Do you know what always works?
like me.
Do you know what? I don't like that you've got sassy with the button. There can only be one person sassy with the button because if 2 people are sassy with the button, then
Okay,
it
good.
goes nowhere. Yeah? So, but now, Kate, let me tell you about my dream. I had a dream. I'm going to leave some parts out because it is a bit weird and it involves this guy right here. So, but I was fully aware that it was a dream. So this is the second time that happened, so it wasn't as crazy. But like I had painted my face as the American flag for the 4th of July. This is probably 3 years ago. Wouldn't do that now. Don't like America now. But I did it for the 4th of July. And so it was in my dream. But like as I was like looking in a mirror, that everyone also in all those videos were like, to tell you how to lucid dream, they're always like, don't look in a mirror. So that freaked me right out. So I was fully prepared, but I wasn't controlling it. I was just aware. So I looked into the mirror. I like saw like it melting off the flag. And then I could like, I fully was aware that I was like transporting back into the awake world. Also, I have like 10 seconds left. And then I woke up. Do you want to click? I have like 10 seconds left.
Wow. Another thing is, I don't think I turned the alarm thing off. I'm pretty sure I can see it because this time I was messing with the chess timer a bit because we didn't like the way it added 5 seconds. So I figured out how to get that off. But I turned on an alarm because we thought it would be. Last time it felt anticlimactic. When the time was up, it was just like, oh, it's at 0. Nothing. So then I felt like, oh, we should have the alarm on. So when it's done, it's like, meh, meh. But now, because it's actually for chess, when that happens in a real chess game, the alarm goes off and the whole thing's over. So we sort of feel like what's going to happen now when the timer gets to 0 for one of us, maybe both sides are just going to stop. But last time it kept going, didn't it? For the one person who...
Okay, ready to click it? What's happening? Okay, ready to click it? I already told him that, but he didn't listen. Click it, quick!
Yeah. I don't know why you jumped in and clicked it back at all. Anyway, so we're not entirely sure what's going to happen at the end. But surely everyone at this point, after this invigorating conversation, is just watching the timer go down going, man, how much time could possibly be left on this thing? So we're not sure when the timer goes to 0 if it keeps going or if it just keeps beeping, which might be messed up. So some final reflections, seeing as I have time and you really don't have much at all. I think next time I'm gonna do what I said I would do, which is come with more things. Because you're like whole like, do you think God wanted us to move? I was like, oh my word. Last time it was like, what's your favorite food? And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess this is what we're talking about. So, but I, something that's like mid-level, we don't want to get like too crazy about this. So I think that's my reflection for next time. That's my beep for only having 10 seconds left. So it's been a pleasure. I'm really happy that everyone was here.
I still have time. But now I don't. This has been Sophie.
And Sophie's dad, Tyler, and this is Shush. It's my turn.
It's my turn. Okay, then that's the end.
I think you should edit that like you do the intro, so it's not part of the regular thing. All right, we did another one. Shake my hand. Great.